Hi everyone, I am Shiela Sabuero Galanay, your first presenter for today. So I will discuss the topic creating student sample projects using English digital tools. At the end of the lesson, the student should be able to identify the steps for a successful student project, name a few tools that help teachers and students communicate with each other, define instructional materials and open-ended tools, and demonstrate how these open-ended tools or software application can be maximized for a language teaching. So what is digital tools? So digital tools are programs, websites, or online resources that can make tasks easier to complete. A lot of this can be accessed in web browsers without needing to be downloaded, and you can access them both at home and in work. So there are 4 steps for a successful student project. So the first one is choose a good cause for your student project. So in order to decide what to do, you need to know, and really know what is worth doing. So you need to run your ideas by smart, broad-minded, truthful, critical people who won't take for granted that even your most basic choices like framing of the issue and choice of a study systems are good. So the second one is be creative but stay focused. Always remember that. So being focused means that you have a clear goals and objectives, and your work is dedicated to achieving those goals and objectives. So when you're deciding what you're going to do in any given moment, you base your decision on how you can make the progress towards your goals with the time and resources available. So being focused in the present moment means that you are solely focused on the one activity that you are trying to complete. So anything else is unimportant. So you can shut out all the distractions and give your full undivided attention to the task that given. So the third one is choose an appropriate angle and make it applicable. So the secret of any creative thinking lies in the ability to identify the right combination of effort and resources. Finding a good solution at a minimal cost. It very often this approach requires a different look at already widely used materials and resources, and it also essential to choose an appropriate angle that is applicable in a particular environment. So the fourth one is remember presentation and planning are essential. So planning ahead allows you to stage and craft a presentation that is creatively engaging. So it is entertaining and also informative. So creating a presentation that is engaging, strategic, and innovative is completely possible. So they just take a little bit more planning. So we all know that in the new era of learning, technology plays a fundamental role in the processes of teaching children and adolescents. So here are the 12 tools that facilitate communication between teachers and students among other things. So the first one is Glugster. So what is Glugster? So it is an internet resources that teachers and students can use to improve classroom activities. So a glug is an online poster that allows the learner to build a customized page of information. So the individual can fuse audio files, text, images, graphics, and other resources into these interactive tools. Next is the Google Classroom. So I know you already know what is the Google Classroom, since this is the most important in our new normal right now, especially especially like a student like me. So what is a Google Classroom? So it is the free web based platform that integrates your G Suite for Education account with all your G Suite services. So it includes Google Docs, Gmail, and Google Calendar. So Google Classroom saves times and paper and makes it easy to create classes. Yes, classes, to distribute assignments, communicate, and stay organized. So the third one is Animoto. So I know some of you are thinking, what is Animoto? So it is a Web 2.0 tool that allows users to produce videos that blend photos, video, clips, and text, and also music. So examine your existing curriculum to decide where the use of Animoto will support your learning objectives. So the fourth is the Voicethread. So it is an interactive collaboration and sharing tools that enable students to build online presentations by adding images, documents, and video and other media to which other users can add comments for discussion. So the next one is the TED-Ed. So it is a platform that allows user to take a TED Talk or TED lessons or educational video and easily create a lesson plan of customized questions and of course discussion. So users can then distribute this lesson publicly or privately and track their impact on the world, a class, or an individual student. So the next is the FlipGrid. So it is a website and app that allows teachers to facilitate video discussions. So students are organized into groups and then give access to discussion topics. So that is the FlipGrid. So the next is the Padlet. So it is an extremely easy to use tool that allows learners to collaborate online by posting text, images, links, documents, videos, and voice recordings. So that's the Padlet. So the next is the Storybird. So it is a unique language art tool. So we use Illustrate to inspire students to write stories, and our standard-based writing curriculum engages students with age-appropriate video tutorials, so writing challenges, quizzes, and more. So that is the Storybird. So the next one is the Kahoot. So what is Kahoot mean? So it is a tool that motivates and activates students' learning because it can test their knowledge. It can also reiterate important concepts and of course help them retain their information. So it also provides instructors with the ability to further create class discussions and student-to-student interaction. So the next one is the EduClipper. So it is nicely designed web-based tool that teachers and students can use to collect materials from digital text, video, or other files on their computer. So Google Drive, or even embedded code from other presentations or website, and then share them in the Pinterest like a collection. So that is the EduClipper. And the last, the second to the last is the Classdu. So the second to the last part is the Classdu. So it is a global community of 50 million plus teachers and families who come together to share kids' most important learning moments in school and at home. So through photos, video, messages, and more, since day one, our community has been at the heart of everything that we do. So the last tools that can help teachers and students to communicate with each other is the CISO. So CISO is a platform for students' engagement that inspires students of all ages to do their best and save teachers' time. So students use creative tools to take pictures, draw, record, videos, and more to capture learning in a portfolio. So teachers find or create activities to share with students. So now I will discuss the advantages and of course the disadvantages of an online learning. But first, I will tackle the advantages of an online learning. So I have here a 5 advantages of an online learning. So the first one is efficiency. So online offers teachers an efficient way to deliver lessons to students. So online learning has a number of tools such as videos, PDF, podcasts, and teachers can use all these tools as part of their lesson plan. So by extending the lesson plan beyond traditional textbook to include online resources, so teachers are able to become more efficient educator. So the second advantages in the online learning is the accessibility of time and place. So another advantage of an online education is that it allows students to attend classes and then from any location of their choice. It also allows schools to reach out a more extensive network of students. So instead of being restricted by geographical boundaries, so additionally online lecturers can be recorded, so archived and shared for a future reference. So this also allows students to access the learning materials at a time of their comfort. So thus online learning offers students the accessibility of time and place in education. So without a consistent internet connection for students or teachers, so there can be a lack of continuity in learning for the child. So this is detrimental to the education process. So this is really true. All of us are suffering, or some of us are suffering. So the third disadvantages rather, is the sense of isolation. So students can learn a lot from being in the company of their peers. So however, in online class, there are minimal physical interactions between students and teachers. So this often results in a sense of isolation for the students. So in this situation, it is imperative that the school allow for other forms of communication between the students, the peers, and of course the teachers. So this can be include online messages, emails, and video, and also conferencing that will allow for face-to-face interaction and reduce the sense of isolation. So the fourth is the teacher training. So online learning requires teachers to have a basic understanding of using digital forms of learning. So however, this is not the case always. So very often teachers have a very basic understanding of technology. So sometimes they don't even have the necessary resources and tools to conduct online classes. So to combat this, it is important for schools to invest in training teachers with the latest technology updates so that they can conduct their online classes seamlessly or properly. So the last, or the fifth one, disadvantages, is manage screen time. So many parents are concerned about the health hazard of having their children spend so many hours staring at the screen. This is 100% legit. So this screen time is one of the biggest concerns and disadvantages of online learning. So sometimes students also develop bad postures and physical problems due to staying hunched into the front of a screen. So a good solution to this would be to give the students plenty of breaks from the screen to refresh their mind and their body. So this is 100% true. This can and also affect our eyesight, especially me, that I am using my eyeglass with a grade of a 300 plus. Okay, so this will be the end of my discussion. So the next presenter will tackle the making IMs using open-ended tools in the teaching language unit by Miss Manilyn P. Nanale.